Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about our top 3 favorite communities in the North Scottsdale area. So stay tuned, you'll hear all about them. Hey there, welcome back. I'm Josh.
And I'm Barbara.
We're with the Select Realty Group over here in the Phoenix metro area. Now, if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. If you like hearing and learning all about what it is to live, sleep, drink, and everything there is to know or want to know about the Phoenix metro area, you're in the right spot.
Honestly, we get so many people reaching out to us that are thinking of moving here and just are looking for some more information. And we absolutely love taking your calls. So please feel free, reach out to us, send us a text, an email, a DM, however you want to get a hold of us. We're here for you, and we want to be able to answer all your questions and share with you everything that there is to know about living in the Phoenix Scottsdale metro area.
Yep, we're just here to help you find your perfect area moving here, or if you're thinking of moving here, just find that ideal spot. Well, today we're talking about our top 3 communities in North Scottsdale. Though there's so many communities around, and every community tailors to a different type of person, and really you can't really go wrong with most of the areas around here. But today we're just going over Barbara and my top 3 for us. We're going to give you details as to why. Now, starting off with our number 1 is McCormick Ranch. Now, McCormick Ranch is a master plan community kind of right in the heart of North Scottsdale, very close to the downtown Scottsdale, or as we call it here, Old Town Scottsdale, pretty close to the downtown Phoenix as well, into the airport. Direct access right to the 101 and the freeways to help you get around town. One of my favorite parts about it is just how green it is. It has a bunch of different lakes around where you can do some fishing or just, enjoy the water. Grass galore, plus tons of golf. And I myself do enjoy some golf.
So a little bit more about McCormick Ranch. So it is like Josh said, it's a master plan community. It's one of the first master plan communities in Scottsdale. And what master plan community means is it's all around living, going to school, parks, recreation. So all of those things are built within the community, which is one of the things that makes it so attractive is you can live there, you can walk right outside your front door and maybe go for a bike ride or a hike, or golf courses are just right around the corner. So McCormick Ranch is actually made up of 68 smaller little communities. Some of them are apartment complexes, some of them are condo complexes, some of them are patio homes, some of them are single family homes, and there are also the larger luxury homes that are located in with McCormick Ranch. So if this seems like it might be an area that you're interested, make sure you give us a call and we'll kind of explain each of the different areas, where they're located within the community, and what the amenities are of each of the individual communities. Some of them are open, some of them are gated communities, and some of them are even guard gated communities. There's a little bit of everything in McCormick Ranch.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I like it so much. Just such a variety, and it is quite a large area too, but plenty of parks, bike trails. The walk score there is fantastic. Bunch of different small shopping centers all throughout it that you can go to grab some coffee or brunch, lunch, dinner options, even bars and some nightlife options there as well. Then you're still very close, as I mentioned earlier, to Old Town Scottsdale as well for the mall and all the shopping that has to offer. It's just a great spot that's kind of close and centrally located to everything.
Yeah, actually there are 8 different retail shopping centers located within the McCormick Ranch area. So like Josh said, there's a little bit of everything. You've got restaurants, you've got your UPS stores, your grocery stores, your drug stores, everything in between, as well as a lot of little extra, clothing stores, things like that. Nail salons, hair salons, you name it. There's also several different commercial locations within McCormick Ranch. Now, most of these tend to be more like office type buildings, so like professional offices, professional buildings is the vast majority of the commercial space within the McCormick Ranch Shopping Center. One of the things that I like best about McCormick Ranch are the lakes. And so, believe it or not, you can get a waterfront home in Scottsdale. So the lakes are man-made. They only allow for electric motors on them. So anybody that lives on the lake, some of them have docks, some of them don't, but you can have like a pontoon boat. So a lot of people have pontoon boats on these lakes, or you can, get a canoe or something like that. They do stock the lakes, so you can go fishing. But so if you're looking for a waterfront property and you want to be in Scottsdale, this is one of the communities that actually allows for that.
Absolutely. And pontoon boats are definitely the most popular, although you can have any type you want. Just pontoons work the best on these because they offer so much space on the deck for the size of the boats for just kind of pleasure cruising around. You don't really need, can't use a speedboat or, a bass fishing boat or anything like that. Not big enough and you can't get up to speed, so.
Yeah. The other thing I like about the lakes and in the McCormick Ranch area is the walking trails that they've built around it. There is actually a trail, it's called the Green Belt, that goes from the Shea Corridor all the way down to, I think you can get down to Tempe Town Lake, all without crossing a busy street. So it's great for families, especially if you have young children, maybe they're just learning how to bike ride. They can go for absolutely miles. There's a lot of people that just walk it or rollerblade or do their longboard things. I see people on their longboards. Not so much in the summertime, but in the wintertime, you're going to see people out there all day long.
Yes, there's bikes you can rent as well as the power scooters you can rent. And the trail is, I think you mentioned, goes all the way down to Papago Park, which again has great little hiking, walking, and kind of everything trails and more lakes there as well.
Yeah. Now, a little bit more about the housing in the McCormick Ranch area. We mentioned there's all different sorts. So this community was built starting in the 70s. So most of the homes in here are going to be a little bit older, and they're going to be a little bit smaller. They tend to have lower ceilings. So if you're looking for that massive home with, the 10, 12-foot ceilings, probably most of McCormick Ranch won't offer that for you.
There'll still be some areas that do, though.
There are some homes that have like vaulted ceilings in the main living air space, but the bedrooms are still going to be your traditional, I think they're 9-foot ceilings.
Roughly.
The other thing is most of the homes are going to just have a 2-car garage. So if you need a lot of garage space, there are a few options. So again, if that's what you're looking for and you really want to be in McCormick Ranch, make sure you reach out to us and we can help you find that. But in general, McCormick Ranch, the homes tend to be a little smaller, just with a 2-car garage. And like Josh mentioned earlier, one of the other things is a lot of McCormick Ranch has grass.
And palm trees.
And palm trees, which if you go a little bit further north, you're not going to find that as much. And we'll tell you a little bit more about that later when we get into the next communities that we're going to want to talk about. So if having a nice grassy backyard or front yard is something that's important to you, then McCormick Ranch might be an absolutely great area for you and your family.
Absolutely. And again, if you have any questions or anything, just please reach out to us. Love helping you guys out and just want to help you find your ideal community here in the Phoenix metro area. Now moving on to our number 2 choice for the communities here in North Scottsdale is McDowell Mountain Ranch. Now, McDowell Mountain is on the northeast side of Scottsdale, just as the 101's turning. If you go Frank Lloyd and go up on that east side there, you get to it.
So if you look on the map, you'll see where that is.
Exactly. But this community, again, is relatively similar to McCormick Ranch, although much less grass. This is more natural desert landscapes. Although you are very close to the hills, so numerous hiking trails to go up into the McDowell Mountains there. Great views from up there, also great exercise. Now, McDowell Mountain also has a wonderful water park right there as well. And then again, going in line with me, they also have nice golf courses, which I enjoy. So this community has numerous amounts of different types of housing all throughout, which Barbara's going to touch on here.
Right. So again, McDowell Mountain Ranch is another of our master plan communities, which again means it's built around the parks and the recreation, the schools. There's retail centers. There's some commercial space in here. The houses are newer, so they I would say the community started probably in the mid-90s. and there's actually some new construction that goes on today. There's again several different communities. There's some that are gated, some that are not, a few of them that are guard gated. What I really like about McDowell Mountain Ranch, it is a little bit more elevated. So what that means is you're going to have some homes that have fantastic city light and sunset views. So if that's something that's really important to you, and I know that's something I absolutely love, then reach out to us and we'll be able to help you find a property like that. I know when you're kind of searching, some of the sites like, Zillow and Realtor.com, it's really kind of hard to tell where these communities are or where the homes are that have the great views, but we can help you find that. Josh mentioned there's a lot of amenities within the community. I think there was, 50, 60 miles of hiking trails that lead all the way up into the McDowell Mountain Sonoran Preserve. So if you're into hiking or mountain biking, anything like that, McDowell Mountain Ranch is a great community for you. It tends to attract a lot of families because there's huge entertainment centers within the community. Like Josh mentioned, they've got the water park there, there's a golf course, there's a public library there. We've got a middle school, an elementary school, all located within the community.
There's also a skate park right there in the park as well, which is pretty neat, and everything can go around if you enjoy that. And then there's a lot of places really close to it, such as you have where the Barrett Jackson goes on over there at Westworld, just right down the street. You also have the Ice Den, which is just up the road off of Bell there. If you like ice skating or anything like that, or hockey, figure skating, they got it all there. Although the Coyotes no longer play or practice there that they did way back in the day, but still a great little facility. And then you're still pretty close in February when the Waste Management Open happens at TPC. You're pretty close to that as well, which is always a very fun thing to go to if you're around for it.
Yeah, a little bit more about the housing. As I mentioned, the houses are a little bit newer, so they are going to be bigger. They tend to have the higher ceilings, so if you're looking for something that has more volume inside, if you will, this would be a great community for you. A lot of the homes are going to have the 3-car garages. And again, there's everything from apartment complexes to condo complexes, traditional, neighborhood communities. There's some communities that have custom homes, and price range, it can be from a couple $200,000-$300,000 condo all the way up to, a multi-million-dollar luxury home with fantastic city light and mountain views.
Absolutely. Again, just definitely one of our recommended communities for that because it offers something a little bit different than McDowell Mountain, although you're still very close to the 101, so easy access to the rest of the city. Still fairly close to Sky Harbor Airport. You are probably going to, depending on traffic, anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes to get there. Really bad rush hour traffic might take you about 45, but it's all a highway, so it's pretty easy to get there along the Loop 101. But definitely one of our recommended communities.
So one of the negative things that I would say about McDowell Mountain Ranch is if you're looking for grass. So McDowell Mountain Ranch is in an area called the ESL, or Environmentally Sensitive Land Area, which means we can only have desert landscaping in the front yards. Now some people do have a little bit of grass in the backyard, but you're not permitted in this area to have grass in the front, and you can only have natural desert type, foliage in the front yard. Some people don't like that. They really like the grassy area, especially if they're coming from the Midwest and they're used to that. But along with that comes a lot lower maintenance. So you kind of have to give up one for the other. And I know when we first moved here, we were looking for grass, and the longer we lived here, it wasn't so important anymore. So again, just something to think about. If you're, the type of person that likes a lot of grass, then McDowell Mountain Ranch might not be the community for you.
Okay, so moving on to our number 3 pick, and keeping with the theme that we've had so far, it is DC Ranch, which is just north of the 101 in North Scottsdale. It is a quite large community, again, relatively golf focused around everything, multiple golf courses and several other communities right around the area that offer golf courses and kind of that golf lifestyle. This area is a little bit further out, so it offers you a bit more privacy. Generally, A lot of the houses will be a little bit bigger, although they still have the condos and townhouses there for that type of living. You have a bunch of gated communities within it as well, then some non-gated ones. But then you're still very close access to a lot of other amenities such as the Desert Ridge Marketplace or some of the shopping centers along Frank Lloyd and the 101 or Frank Lloyd and Scottsdale. So very close to all those areas. And again, still close to downtown Phoenix or downtown Scottsdale, about 20 minutes to get to downtown Scottsdale, give or take a little bit depending on traffic, and about 30 to get to downtown Phoenix, about the same for the airport. But this community just offers something a little bit different than the other two, but still wonderful.
As Josh mentioned, this is a little bit further north, just at the next community north from McDowell Mountain Ranch. So a little bit newer. Most of these homes, they started in about 2000. And again, there's some new construction still going on. Most of it tends to be in the much larger custom homes. Almost all of DC Ranch is a gated community. So whether you live in an apartment complex, there's a few townhomes, a couple of patio homes, almost all of it is gated. So if being in a secure gated community is something that is of interest to you, this might be the community that you want to think about looking at. There is 2 golf courses. They are both private, and the communities that surround them are have some of the most expensive homes in all of the Phoenix metro area, specifically Silverleaf. That's kind of built up against the mountain. So a lot of these homes are built with specifically the backyard faces out. So you've got beautiful and city light views. And these homes can be very expensive. I mean, we're talking, $10-20 million at the top end for homes in the Silverleaf section of DC Ranch. And again, the community is built around the parks and the schools. So there's a middle school and a elementary school right within the community. There's several retail centers located within the community. What I like about DC Ranch is there's a lot of little parks throughout the community. There's about 50 miles of paved trails. So you can literally walk for miles. And every little while, then there's going to be a little park for the people that live within kind of that section of the community. Again, there's community centers that have, the pools and the tennis courts and the pickleball courts and the basketball courts and the children's play areas. There's one that has a splash pad for the kids. So a lot of choices for living in this area. As far as the homes go, like I said, they have everything from like a 2-bedroom condo all the way up to 10-20,000 square foot luxury home and everything in between. So if this seems like it might be an area that would be of interest to you, give us a call. We can kind of explain what the different areas are and kind of where they're located within the community, what the amenities are, and things like that. And we just love being able to help people find their dream home in these communities.
Yeah, one of my favorite sections of DC Ranch is it's not the biggest section, but it's a gated and it has a combination of some townhomes and then some single family homes as well. And they're just set up in a way that once you go through the gate, they have a couple parks throughout. It just really gives you that vibe of a community, and you really go out and meet your neighbors and stuff like that. And it's one of the rarities within Scottsdale to have small communities like that are really invested in making sure that you're kind of all incumbent in those areas, as well as just really getting you to reach out and be neighborly with everyone around you. They're just set up pretty nice like that.
Well, I think I know which community you're talking about, and this community really gets into decorating. So if you are like that and like people that really get into like the holidays, like decorating for Halloween. And I mean, I think
they throw Christmas parties, Halloween parties,
and I think they even decorate for Valentine's Day.
They do.
That's how crazy these guys are about decorating. And They all try and, really bring a very family-friendly environment to their area.
Absolutely. And last year they had a beer fest they actually threw on too, which is pretty
Oh
interesting.
yeah, that's right.
Well, so those are our top three. Started with McCormick, then moving over to McDowell, then up into DC. Now again, if you have any questions about these communities, or you feel like some of them have some things you like and others you don't like, again, just reach out to us. More than happy, and just love helping you guys find your perfect area for you to come to. But if you did like the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon to get notified of all our future content. And thanks again for joining us.
Don't forget, give us a call. We want to help you.